What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Single Guy channel. I'm Lloyd, and I have a very interesting question today. The question is, it's a long email, so I'm just going to paraphrase. He's basically saying, Lloyd, I excel in most aspects of my life. I'm a very accomplished software engineer, a really high-paying job. I oversee a lot of people, and he's also a very accomplished runner. He runs a lot of races, and so he's a good long-distance runner, and he's wondering, why have I been able to accomplish so much, but why do I continue to struggle with women? Okay, so this is a very good question, and one that not only can I relate to because of my students, but in my own life as well. So when I was younger, when I was in high school, I played a lot of soccer, and I was pretty good at soccer. I started on the varsity soccer team all 4 years. I captained it. I was part of a development program for soccer as well until I got hurt. And I was also doing very well in school. I studied physics. I majored in physics, and I got pretty good grades up until like my junior year of college. That's when I stopped getting good grades because I just didn't see the point. So in this area, I felt the same thing too, man. Like in high school, I captained the soccer team, which nobody really cared about. High GPA, high test scores, relatively. And so I felt like I was succeeding in a lot of these areas, and I just kept wondering why it was that I struggled with women. I couldn't understand them. I couldn't understand people. And it really started to frustrate me. It frustrated me because it was like, why am I so high in these other areas, but these other things that I'm doing are not working out? So, and the reason is because, look, you get good at stuff that you do a lot. You're a very accomplished software engineer, man, so you're probably good at that because you've done it a lot. My guess is, how many times have you actually hit on a girl? If you would compute the amount of hours that you've been doing that, where you've been in social environments where you've actually tried to make progress with a woman, it probably wouldn't be that high. It's certainly nowhere near as many hours you put into programming or managing your business or to running. For sure it isn't, because if it was, you wouldn't be having these problems. And what I needed to realize, and what hopefully you're realizing too, is that whatever you do a lot of, that's what you become better at. And I find this is true with a lot of very, very smart guys, because they spent so long perfecting their craft, spent so long at doing whether it's a software engineer, or whether they're starting their own business, or whether they're an accomplished lawyer, or a mathematician, or a scientist. These types of professions require very, very long hours of work, hours that you're not spending being social, or talking to women, or hitting on them, or going out, or doing the things that you need to do to get good at this sort of stuff. You haven't done it. And it's great that you've done this for your life and your career, but it's the fact of the matter is, and the problem with life is, that if you choose to do something, you're sacrificing, you can't do something else. So if I choose to do, right now I do mixed martial arts, and I do this channel, and I do, I have my own, other side projects as well. I'm sacrificing time that I could be doing other things, and it hurts. There's a lot of things that I want to do in this life, but I can only do so many. So you have to decide whether this is important to you, and if it is important to you, you need to start making the time for it. I know you're probably busy with, your running and your programming and your business and everything. But if this is important to you, you need to start dedicating time to it. You don't need to go crazy, but you need to start putting in effort. Now, it's a lot of people, what they think they're going to do, and this is a trap a lot of people fall into, is they think, oh, okay, well, I'll just start putting in time at some point. So they'll pick a date. They'll be like, you know what? Next year, I'm going to go full on in, and I'm going to keep going out. I'm going to go out tons, and then I'm going to get good with women, and then I'm going to stop. Okay? Usually, you won't do that. It's kind of like the problem with people that try and get fit if they're really, really fat. A reason why a lot of people end up going back to the way they were before is because it's habits. And if you cultivate bad habits where you're used to not interacting with people, and you're used to not going and putting yourself out there, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to do it. So if a person's trying to get in shape and they've never done it, they usually say, oh, well, you know what, next year I'm going to hit the gym every single day. And then they do it for like 2 weeks. They go to the gym for like 2 weeks, and then they go, maybe like once every other day the next week. And then it comes to be like 2 times a week. And then they just go occasionally, and their body hasn't changed at all, and they haven't made any progress. So what I would invite you to do is just fit in once or twice a week, once a week, if that's all you can do, just dedicate to a social activity where you're able to talk to a girl that you can make progress with, like someone who's single, and maybe a social event or something like that. You can go to a mixer, you can go to a happy hour, or just start going out, a couple times a week. Start with that, okay? Choose one night out of the week and ramp yourself up from there. The problem with intelligent guys is that because you're so good at something, you don't want to be bad at something else or admit that you're bad at something else. And this is the first step, man. You ask the question, so you're already on the right path. So what you need to start doing is accepting the fact that you're going to be bad at this, and that's okay. And you're not going to get good immediately. Just because you go out once a week doesn't mean in a couple months you're automatically going to be good. It means over the course of a long period of time, if you're just doing once a week, maybe that would take you a year or something like that, okay? Where you start to develop some skills where I think you would actually be satisfied with the results. At least a year going out once a week. If you want to get better faster, then you should go out more and maybe get a coach so that way we can iron out some stuff. That sort of thing. So what you should do, man, is pick a time, develop some habits where you're going out, accept the fact that you're not going to be good at this. And I know it's going to suck, but when it comes to getting women, ego is most definitely the enemy in this. And so hopefully you'll see from this that once you shed the ego, once you start going out regularly, you're going to start getting results. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen, man. So best of luck to you. Hopefully if you guys have an issue with this, then you can do the same thing too. I know for me, it took a while. It took me about a couple years actually for me to fully admit that I was not good with women. I didn't have those skills. But as soon as I started doing that, it put me on the right path to actually being able to do it. And now here I am. I have no problems with it. It took massive action, but sometimes that's what you got to do, man. So best of luck to you. If you made it to the end, guys, consider subscribing. I come up with videos like this every single week. If you're interested in my one-on-one weekly coaching program, send me an email at TheSingleGuy2017@gmail.com. Thanks a lot and good luck out there, guys.